Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? So, like I said, this weekend's gonna be a little weird. I had a neighbor that I rather like ask me to, check on her house and her dog, which is why we're starting a bit late, and that's gonna probably be a thing that happens the rest of the, this weekend streams are probably going to be pretty short and start a bit late and just be kind of strange, cause that's gonna be a thing that happens a lot of just things are going to be, like I said, things are going to be a little weird. Things are going to be a little weird because, like I said, a neighbor asked me to check on her house, check on her dog, and I need to go by there a few times each day to make sure everything's okay. But we're gonna try and make it work. So we are, and like I said, so we are back in CRYMACHINA. I need to do some level grinding in this still. So I've been kind of doing it because particularly, what's her name? Laban is very underleveled, as you can see. Like, max level, we need to, level cap is at 80, and Mikoto and Ami are only at like 70, right? They're only at 71. Meanwhile, Laban isn't even at that. So, like, level wise, she's still in the 60s. We're Mikoto and Ami, who were also kind of having a rough time of it, were they were higher level than her. They were higher level than Laban. So we're gonna have to do something about that as well. Cause I remember when we went into the fights with the copied Deus Ex Machina, those were, even with Mikoto and Ami, pretty tough. And then Laban just got her ass whooped because she was so under level, right? So we're gonna need to fix that first. Which is gonna be a whole process. Because like I said, right now, recommended level 76, none of them are at that. Not a single one of them. We can't use these for it. But wait, there might be somewhere we can go. None of these, because these are all under. The recommended level for these is all under our current level, which means we're not going to get much in the way of XP from them. So let's see here. The second checkpoint might be a place to start. If we take Laban there, she's at that level, which means we won't get any bonuses, but also we won't get any penalties. Versus if we brought Ami or Mikoto here. So we might be able to use her to get at least a couple of levels worth of XP, and then from there progress onwards to where we'll actually be able to do stuff that's closer to progressing the story. So let's start with that. 118 off of that. That's not a lot. I'm getting a little worried that we're gonna run into a situation where we're gonna be stuck, and as a result, we're not gonna have enough XP to actually level everybody, just because we're not getting enough. We'll see how that goes, though. Finish you off real quickly. Oh, so we're getting like 600 per, which could be worse. Woo! All right, you down. But anyways, we'll just, I'm taking care of this little dog. I'm taking care of this dog for her. He is such a cute little fella. I should get some photos next time I'm there. He's a little Maltese. He's kind of an old man too. So he's like an old Maltese dog. who is he's very sweet though. He's very sweet, but he is very small. Like, honestly, I get a little worried holding him. He's so tiny. And his hair is cut pretty short, which makes him look, so you can really see how small he is. Like, you know, like some Malteses, they'll have their hair longer. You know, Malteses are a long-haired dog, and they'll have a lot of the hair that makes them look not quite as small as they actually. No, you really see how small this dog is. He is a little guy. Like, I'm picking him up to take him outside to go pee, and I have to hold him so gently. I have to hold this dog so gently because of how little he is. And like, I am afraid of dropping him. That's how small he is. And I know that dropping him would be a terrible thing. Like, I can do it, but it feels so strange. It feels so strange holding on to this dog. Oh, watch it, watch it, watch it. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, this dog, because like I said, this dog is tiny. He is a very small dog. So, like I said, I pick him up and take him outside because he can't get over the step at the front door because he's real small and the step has like a grate to it, which I'm like, you know, I don't want him to get his foot caught in it, right? I don't want to get his foot caught in it because that would really hurt him. So I pick him up and carry him over the step, and then I have to put him down afterwards. And during, while I'm doing that, I'm just like, this dog. I keep emphasizing it. I know, I keep repeating myself on this. He feels fragile. Like, I'm holding him, and I'm just like, if I really wanted to, I could break this dog in half. That's how small he is. Like, it would be easy. He's so tiny. But he's an absolute sweetheart. Like, he's an absolute sweetheart of a dog. Like, when I came into the house to go, you know, take him into the house to check on him, he was waiting in another room. He was waiting in one of the rooms where they have his crate. And he just comes out and walks out to me like, hi. He's never met me before, right? I have never seen this dog until today. And he goes just like, hi. Hello. Who are you? So I do that. I take care of him. And then I take him outside. I let him take care of his business. And then I bring him back in. And I bring him back in and I feed him. And this is like the one thing that I was just like, ugh, with. And that is, so his owner, like I said, this neighbor, she feeds him wet food. And I really don't like the smell of wet dog food. It is, it had me retching. The smell was so bad. And I'm just like, ugh. I'm talking to this dog. I'm like, Dad, how do you like this stuff, dog? This smells terrible. Like, I'm kind of bitching to the dog, right? The dog doesn't know the hell I'm talking about, but I'm just like, damn, how do you like this stuff? It smells awful. But so, like I said, that is gonna be interesting for these next couple of days, because he is gonna need feeding these next couple of days whenever I go and check on him. So the main thing is I need to make sure that I don't have a lot of excess in there that I have to clean up after he's done, because that way I'll have to deal with the smell of it less. So that's gonna be like the main thing, is like, how do I avoid there being excess food in his bowl so that I don't have to clean it out afterwards? Ooh, watch it, watch it, watch it. He's got the sword out. All right, get back in there. gotta dodge spam my way through this basically. Especially with Laban, because you're so much quicker than with Ami, with Laban. And I don't know how much of a difference it is, but she does feel quicker than Mikoto as well. Also, Granite Hill, Ecclesia's design is such a vibe. Like, goddamn. He just like me, for real, for real. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Okay, our health is still good. Gotta remember to keep an eye on that because that's not a lot of time. Watch it. Okay, back, 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 back. Hey, Enola, can you space laser this guy for me? Thank you. There we go, much better. And while he is still lacking a barrier, we need to get in there. Try and punish him a little. Back, 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 back. Ah, god damn it. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. There we go. Woo. How much do I get from this again? 4,100. Okay. So I will need to do this a couple of times just for Laban, not to mention the other two. I think, is there any way I can get more? Actually, I can think of one way. These three are still at level 50. If I go to like, you know, somewhere where it's just a bit under leveled, like the deep net checkpoint with one of them, I wonder if I can use the under level bonus to get a bit more XP that I can then put into the main three. That might actually be a solution to that problem. Let's see how well this works, because like I said, they are a bit under leveled for this, but as long as it's not like catastrophic, we might be able to make this work. Oh, we're gonna have to be a bit careful here. Because otherwise, that happens. But yeah, this might be workable because we're actually doing enough damage. That's the key thing. We are doing enough damage to actually get something out of it. It's just because we're very under level, we are gonna have to take this kind of cautiously. Also, we may want to look at better weapons. Maybe have you here, and then you would be, I think we'll have you do that, we'll have you be that, and then we'll have you be that, and then you're honestly probably fine just looking at your stats. Ooh, actually, let me check the weapon here. Have confidence. We can't use over when you see it or clockwork us with her, so have confidence. What we're gonna have to go with, at least for now. Oh wow, just immediately destroyed. Also, rip bots. Where's the third one? Where's the third one? Like I said, they usually come in threes, so I want to see if they show up or not. The third one shows up or not. Because we've had Pessimistico and Backhand Hiring Z. Where's the third one at? Because like I said, they usually, I don't know what it is about these spam bots, but it seems like they usually come in threes. So I'm just waiting to see where the third one is going to be at. Okay, we're probably gonna want to just let our auxiliaries do most of the work for us here. Is the impression I'm getting from this. Because otherwise, you know, not otherwise, but that's gonna actually help us avoid a lot of the danger. All right, pull back. Ow. I say the danger must be growing because the rowers keep on rowing. Not a speck of light is showing. Is the grizzly reaper mowing? Yes, the danger must be growing because the rowers keep on rowing, and they are certainly are not showing any signs that they are slowing. Oh man. Also, so a lot of people, myself included, have been listening to complete tangent, not complete tangent, but when I was over there with, you know, dog sitting for my neighbor, when I was there, I also was listening to the Anjin de Poitrine set, because I mean I heard it like a week or so ago. A friend of mine said it to me. I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. But also, one of the other things I noticed in that is they actually make really cool usage of live looping. So basically, live looping. So for those who don't know, live looping is you take, you have a pedal. It's like a pedal, or it's typically a pedal, like a foot pedal or another piece of equipment, and you'll have that, and you'll hold a switch on that, and you'll play a section of a song into that, like a phrase into that, and you'll let go, and it'll keep playing that over and over and over again, right? So they had in the recent live performance that got everybody to like know who they were, myself included. They had a really big one, right? They had like a huge six loop looping setup, right? But also, there's somebody else who I've been recently following that also does live looping. That's really cool. His name is Kevin Keith. He does like neo soul kind of stuff. He also uses a really interesting instrument. It's called the Chapman stick. So he's got like a Chapman stick. So a Chapman stick is, it's a really interesting instrument. So imagine, if you will, a 5-string, you know, two sets of 5 strings, 5 bass strings, 5 guitar strings, all connected together, and then they also are set up so that they're sensitive enough that you can just press the string onto the fretboard, onto the fingerboard, and that'll play the note. So he has that, and then along with that, the whole thing is set up where it's connected into a synthesizer. So you have this instrument, you have a synthesizer, you have a set of keyboard synths off to the side as well, and all of this gets used along with a looping setup, so he can play, like I said, so he can play like sections of, like, you know, musical phrases, and then, you know, hit a foot switch, and then it'll just keep playing that loop over and over again until he comes over and overwrites it, which lets him build songs up on the fly. It's like, it lets you compose. Basically, that's the big thing. It lets you compose on the fly. It's a really cool setup he's got, because he's got the Chapman stick, which is the stringed instrument, which also has a synthesizer built into it. Along with that, he then has a drum sequencer and at least 1 keyboard synth. I think there were 2. I have to go back and look at his setup. There's a really good video of it though. But he's got at least 1, I think, maybe 2 keyboard synths that he also uses to build up, you know, build up the track. And then he's got, along with all of this, then he also has, and it's a really cool looking one. This thing looks like, and this is the best way I can, you know, I mean this in the best way possible. It looks like a cello from the far off future of 1975. Like, it has this really cool retro future look to it, to the actual instrument itself, the way it's designed. It's some kind of electric bowed, like a cello or upright bass. I think it's a cello. I always forget what the size difference is, but I'm pretty sure that it's an electric cello. So he's got one of those though, but he's got one of those, and it has, and that's also like hooked into everything. So you've got this electric cello. Like I said, it's got like this really like retro future look to it. That's really cool. And then the whole thing, all of these instruments, like I said, are played into a pedal board that has a looping setup to it that lets him play out, you know, like I said, play music, play a phrase, loop it, and then keep it looping as he goes over to another instrument, plays a phrase on that, sets that one up to loop, and he can, like I said, he can just build up these sequences, and then once he's done doing that, he goes over typically to the Chapman stick, and he'll start playing that for the main like rhythm, you know, the main melody and such. And the whole setup is really cool if you have never, if you haven't seen it. Oh wow, he just got flattened. Like I said, it's like this neo soul sort of music. Like with Kevin Keith, it's like a neo soul sort of sound. That's really nice. It's a really nice sound for like, you know, late night. You just want to like wind down and relax. It's a very relaxing. It is a very relaxing sound. The kind of thing like you can imagine yourself in like a, you know, it's got that really nice lounge vibe to it, where, you know, it's kind of down tempo. Like I said, really relaxed. Which is an interesting contrast versus Andre de Poitrine, where if you've listened to their live set that they did, you know, most of the songs of that are pretty intense, even if they don't start, like even like the first one, Signese, doesn't start out like super intense, you know, it's just doot, 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 but it builds up, so you get this da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 like that sound. And it gets really intense, especially some of the later songs in the set, like Sherpa. Sherpa legitimately just feels like you're going nuts. It legitimately feels like you're going, kind of like you're going nuts listening to that song. And then also the other thing I remember, like, so Sherpa was, so Signese and a couple of the other songs, those were new for the live set and got released afterwards, right? But then Sherpa is actually kind of different because that one existed before the live set. And you go and watch, I went and watched the actual video they had for that one up before the KEXP live set. And my first thought, every time I saw, what did you do, Chumbussy? What thing did you do? What thing did you do? Did you get banned from somebody's chat? Is that what happened? Did you, oh, good. We actually made a good landing. Or not? Okay, fine, whatever. Fuck it. Where do we need to go from here? So We've already got that. We've already got that one. It's down this way. Okay. Did you get on a stream? Is that what happened? Did you get onto a stream and yap away with, you know, yap away with their with the chat? Like you did the other day? How the fuck do I go from here now? I've activated. I don't want to mess with that though. Why did I activate that? That was a mistake with this character. Because Haya is way under leveled compared to say Laban, Ami, or Mikoto. Yeah, but that's not the reason. What do you mean? Oh, did you get featured? Did you get featured in a clip? Is that what happened? Yeah, laser! Woo! Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Go, 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 go. So what did you do? Bonk! Is that the last of them? Yeah, it is. Okay. Ugh. I may not have wanted to do this one here, but I think we're okay. So move up and let's see who is the boss here. Was it? Ah, it's Mikoto. Or rather, it's her torso. You refunded stuff and cried. Oh no. What did you refund? I'm actually thinking, okay, you know, it's funny you say that. I've got something I'm considering refunding as well. Switch light. Oh no. Oh no. What happened with that? What happened with that you had to refund it? Because like I said, I've got something I'm considering like I might need to refund as well. So I bought a playmat for the Digimon card game like a month ago off of Etsy. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know what to say there. Whoa, whoa, why am I stuck here? But yeah, oof. Can I do that? No, wow, that does a lot of damage. Meanwhile, we're basically doing nothing to her. Woo! Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Wow. Oh, damn. Okay. That's not good. Bonk. Let's see if we want to do any meaningful damage to her. We're gonna need to have to hit her with the auxiliaries and with the heavy attack. Okay. It's doable, but it's annoying. Oh. Okay, so like I said, I bought a playmat for the Digimon card game off of Etsy like a month ago, almost a month ago now. And I checked on it the other day. You know, I even messaged the seller like last week, right? I messaged the seller last week, hey, can I get an idea of when I can expect this to ship? And last week they said, yeah, oh yeah, this will probably ship this week. So I'm gonna give it a little while because Etsy did give me, back when I bought it, it did give me like a range of delivery dates that I could expect. So I'm gonna wait until like the last day that I could expect, that Etsy said to expect it. And if by then it has still not shipped, I am probably going to refund it, just because I am getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed with the seller with, you know, this thing that I bought almost a month ago at this point, right? So I bought this almost like a month ago, right? And it still hasn't shipped. And it's not like it's shipping from far. It is, according to Etsy, shipping from a shop in the same state as me. I bought this, when the fuck did I buy this? I can check on Etsy when I bought this. When did I buy this? I bought it on the 11th of March. So in just, in 8 days, it will be a month ago. So if it still hasn't shipped, like if it still hasn't shipped like a week from now, I'm probably just gonna get it refunded, because this is kind of ridiculous that it has been this long. And I understand that this is Etsy, this is stuff, I'm buying stuff from a lot of this is stuff from smaller businesses that are making things to order. Not all of them, but a good chunk of it is these like people that are smaller businesses making things to order, right? But I'm also like, really? It has been over a week. It has been almost a month. Not over, it has been almost a month. And yeah, Chabusi, if I refund this playmat, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna put you in the mail, I'm gonna send you to the seller, and I'm gonna make them deal with you. I'm gonna make them deal with you. See how they like it. Woo, watch it, watch it, watch it. Wow, that was quick. I'm gonna ship you to the seller and see what you do there. See if you get lost in the mail system. Whoa, watch it. Okay, way too far out there. Oh wow. Okay. It does remember that I used all of those. Suboptimal. Ooh. You're gonna one day I'll find me in my gravesite and I'll hear, damn, she never really was a banned mentally, but she did get banned a lot. Sometimes I wonder why that is. Oh, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Oh, they're down, they're down, they're down. Go, 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 go. Let's see here real quickly. Right auxiliary. Oh no, let's swap this back over to that bot. That's right. We were using that. That actually worked pretty well. Let's put you, long range homing laser. And hey there, Bacon King. Hey there, Bacon King. How are you doing? There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Oh, and we get down immediately. We get downed immediately. Oh, that's embarrassing, actually. Do we at least keep the... Yeah, we did. Good. Okay, good. That's the wrong bot. We don't want this one. We want one that has... No, that's actually fine. Okay, never mind. So we got to play this really cautiously. Because as long as we're under leveled like we are right now, if we get into a fight, that's gonna kill us really fast. Like you just saw. Like you just saw. Bonk. This is gonna be a strange fight, though. Woo! No, you don't, Mikoto. Well, I say Mikoto, but your head—it's just her torso. It's just her body. She's not actually here. It's a puppet of Lily's. I hate when that happens where we do the turn dodge, right? But then we get stuck to the enemy. It's like weird geometry shit happening there. And as a result, they end up killing us with that hit, with that blow anyways. Maybe not this bot. What about... What about the Bernardias? Own HP for EX. And then vital activity. And we'll hold off on that for now. Watch it. All right, that might actually keep us alive. Watch it, watch it. Let our auxiliaries do most of the work, because we don't want to get in too close to the fight. We overcommit, that's going to get us killed. Do we still have any of those? Yes, we do. Good. Ooh, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Wow, we did basically nothing to her there. Like damage-wise, that was nothing. That was something, though. Woo! I wonder how we did that. Ooh. What is it? What do you have to confess? What do you have to confess? I got another confession to make. I'm your fool. Everyone's got the chains to break. How dare you? What is it? Whoa! on, come on. Watch it. Oh. Okay. You didn't get breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah, I know. You said the key is that if I'll get it or not. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't get it. Because whenever I think of breakfast at Tiffany's, I just think of the movie. And I don't even know what the hell that movie is about. No, unfortunately we don't. Unfortunately, I don't. This is, like I said, I know Breakfast at Tiffany's is the name of a movie, but I don't even remember what it's about. I just remember that it exists. Oh, that's a red flash. We have to wait for the purple flashes. Yeah, I don't know either, Skull. I don't know either, unfortunately. Like I said, I just know that it exists. I don't even remember what Breakfast at Tiffany's is about. I have to look now. I have to look now to see which. It's a song? Huh. I did not know that was a song as well. I knew about the old movie Breakfast at Tiffany's that has the really racist landlord character. I actually did have to go look at it. I was like, wait, oh, I remember this movie. It's the one that has Mickey Rooney playing the landlord who's just a really racist caricature. Like, I think they actually taped his eyelids to make, to do like the stereotypical Asian eyes. I don't remember if they actually taped them or what, but I definitely remember that. I definitely remember that the landlord's name was Mr. Yunioshi, and that he was just an extremely racist caricature. Well, let's see. Breakfast at Tiffany's. What song is it? Who is this by? Deep Blue Something. Breakfast at Tiffany's. I think I remember that film, and I recall we both kind of liked it. I said, well, that's the only thing we've got. I've never heard this song. I have never heard this song, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know this song existed until right now. So yeah, I've never even heard of this band, I don't think. Yeah, no, Mr. Yunioshi. That's who I was talking about, Chibusi. The landlord. I was explicitly referencing I was actually just talking about the landlord. And just how fucking racist it was. Want to do that again? Want to do it again? Do it again. Not the one I was really looking for, but I'll take it. But yeah, how the fuck do you talk about Mr. Yunioshi? That is That is not a question I thought I would be asking today. That's not a question I thought I'd be asking today because, yeah, no. Mr. Yuniyoshi is just kind of a fucked up character in a lot of ways. Also, though. Huh? On this. Hit him again. Well, let's do it again. Come on, hit me with the purple. Oh, that was bad. That was a missed opportunity, but fine. We'll still make it work though. Oh, wow. But yeah, still I'm just trying to figure out why you even brought up breakfast at Tiffany's in the first place. Because yeah, it has a racist caricature in it. That is like the main reason people even know that movie exists. And then like Skull said, apparently there's a song that also is like a reference to it that I didn't know about until right like just now. So come on. Gotta remember, watch the color of the flash. Oh, I got it backwards there. Purples are the ones we want to block. Red we want to dodge, because otherwise that happens. I think a lot of it is because the movie was apparently changed pretty substantial. So I'm actually looking at it now. So Breakfast at Tiffany's was apparently originally based on a book, and they changed it pretty substantially from the book. And a lot of why it doesn't make sense, relatively speaking, is because of changes from Capote's book. So yeah, no, I really don't know what's going on with that, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on with that, unfortunately. Also though, on the subject of Truman Capote though, complete tangent just based off of the fact that Breakfast at Tiffany's is based on a book by Truman Capote of the same name. If you have not seen Capote versus the Swans, it is a really good series, and and all of y'all should watch that. Because there's this moment, there's this moment in it where early on you see Capote versus the Swans. So you see Truman Capote. Who is playing Truman Capote in that? I need to actually go look to see who this was actually playing Truman Capote in Capote versus the Swans. Who was the actor on this playing Truman Capote? Tom Hollander. So the Swans are this group of wealthy socialite women, right? Kind of like Holly in Breakfast at Tiffany's, right? But what ends up happening is, while he is writing his next book, he puts out a sort of an excerpt from his upcoming book where he is talking about these women that he spends a lot of time with. No, not Tom Holland, Tom Hollander. Not quite the same, Bacon King. But yeah, it's very similar. But anyways, so the thing is, so Capote, like I said, Capote is an author. He's like a famous novelist who wrote a bunch of books that I don't think I've ever read any of them. So I cannot say my opinions on them because, like I said, I've never read them. But what matters is that he wrote a particularly infamous, or released a particularly infamous, he published a particularly infamous excerpt from what was going to be his upcoming book called Answered Prayers. And in it, he describes the absolute viciousness and pettiness of these rich women who gather at this restaurant in New York City for lunch, and how he is basically their, and this is like kind of how he describes himself, right? He describes himself almost as their pet homosexual. That he is this person, no, he is the gay man that they keep around in their company, almost like some kind of exotic animal, and they feel like, and they feel like because they're doing this, that they're doing him some kind of favor as a result, because this was the 60s, mind you. This was like right after the Stonewall riots, which was like what, 58? Well, the Stonewall riots 58. I have to look again. Stonewall riot was, no, it was 69. Never mind. So this is like right, this is before Stonewall. This is before Stonewall, mind you. Yes, he was the token gay. He was literally their token gay, Bacon King. He was this guy that they kept around because he amused them, and because they could brag to other groups of rich women about their pet homosexual. Again, it was the 60s. This was before even Stonewall. So he is not really, no. So he takes an enormous risk in being openly gay, right? Literally that. It's literally that, Chimpussy. It's literally that. And he's talking about these women, like these women, he's talking about, they hate each other. They hate each other. Like they talk all nice with each other when they're at this restaurant called Le Cote Basque. No, unfortunately I don't. I tend to miss most references. Unfortunately, there's only like I have like a very specific catalog of references. Not a literal catalog, but like a very specific set of references that you might have a chance of me getting, and anything outside of that, I am probably gonna miss. I am probably gonna miss that. But anyway, so they have, but yeah, like these women, so they meet at lunch at this restaurant in New York City called Le Cote Basque. It's like a famous, Le Cote Basque, it's like this famous high-end French restaurant that's really exclusive and tends to, and hosts a lot of New York City's who's who in the 1960s. And he's talking about how like these women, they meet for lunch and they're all cordial and such, but the moment one of them steps away from the table, or if there's just one of them there and he's with them, he will just hear them. He just hears the most venomous shit. Like, these women hate each other. And so he writes all of this down because he really, being the token gay gets old after a while, right? I can imagine, you can imagine, this is not a way, this is not really how you want to be. And even compared, as I said, and he's like, and so he's like writing all this stuff down, and he writes it down as an excerpt from his upcoming book, Answered Prayers. And the end result, but the end result is, like I said, just absolute. You know, he sends it to Esquire magazine, and when he does, it humiliates these women. He doesn't mention any of them by name, by the way, but the way he talks about them, even though he changes the names, is so specific that these women know who wrote. They know that it's about them, and it pisses them off. It pisses them off to have all their dirty laundry aired out for the world to see. And so they have, like, they hatch this plan, possibly one of the few times they have genuinely worked together without double crossing the moment one of them isn't looking, that they're going to ruin Capote's life, right? And it plays out from there. So it plays out from there about, you know, the vicious, you know, like the vicious, you know, these women crashing out because it gets revealed that the perfect facade that they put on to the rest of the world of they are these paragons of beauty and wealth, that they are, you know, they are the perfect wives to the richest, you know, to some of the richest men in New York. It's bullshit. You know, that it is just that. It is a facade. It's bullshit. And Capote gives, and like I said, Capote publishes a first-hand account of just how much bullshit it is. We might just have to. Let's see if we can return to base if we have any XP from what we've done. Oh, actually a decent amount. Okay. That kind of works, actually. I would like to get them up to level cap. So let's run that again now. Let's run that again. With, again, one of the Trinity members, so that we get that. But also, I just noticed an ad break is starting. So if you need a chance to stretch, grab a drink, etc., now's the time to do it. And I'll see y'all when it's over. All right, and we're back. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I said, they crash the fuck out when he airs out their dirty laundry. And this is also this is part of why they are also referred to as the Swans, mind you, because each of the three of them, right? So you have, like I said, so you have these women, right, who are, you know, the wives of some of the richest men in New York City, and possibly like some of the richest men in the country, and they have this image. They have this image that kind of goes with that, right? But underneath that, if you get close enough to them, you start to see they are quite vicious. These are quite vicious people. And it's kind of like a swan. And so that's where the comparison comes from. Because I don't know if you've ever seen swans, the actual birds. You know, they actually are quite pretty until you get close, and or God forbid provoke them. And then you realize that as elegant as they look from a distance, swans are basically just geese that are big enough to back up their threats. And they're mean. Like, actual swans are mean. And they can really hurt you. They can really hurt you in ways that geese can't. Which can be a pretty uncomfortable lesson to learn about just how badly a swan can mess you up if you piss it off. And they're pretty easy to piss off. But also, Capote versus the Swans. So first of all, that is actually the second season of a series called Feud. And the first season is also really good. So both the seasons of it are really good. Capote versus the Swans, I mostly just brought up first because of the connection with Truman Capote, who wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, the book that the movie is based off of, right? But the first season, I honestly think the first season is even better. The first season is these two actresses, Betty Davis, and I always forget the other one's name. I have to look again. No, never mind. I remember it. So Joan Crawford and Betty Davis, who are these two aging actresses. You know, so again, it's like, when did this movie come out? It's like 50s Hollywood, right? So it's you know, old. It's the end. It's towards the end of the old Hollywood era, right? From 62. So this movie came out in 1962. Like I said, towards the end of the old Hollywood era. And it's about, what is it? What is the hot take you have? I mean, yeah, kinda. Cause when men talk shit to each other's faces, which tends not to create drama. So yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a given. That's not a hot take at all. That's pretty lukewarm. No. We're gonna need some better gear here though. I'm thinking you, and then maybe let's try the Pisum actually. So 2 different saws. No, this is not Frieren. This is not Frieren, a Bacon King. This is well, first of all, she's not flat enough. She's not flat enough. Second of all, those are cat ears, not elf ears. And third, look at her legs. Bonk. Ooh, wow, ow. But anyway, so that's the second season of it, right? The first season, as I was saying, is between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And it's about the shooting of the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane in the 60s. So it's these 2 aging actresses, like I said, 2 aging actresses in the 60s, towards the end of the old Hollywood era, who are, you know, they're past the peaks of their respective careers, right? But what ends up happening is, so these 2 women, the studio and the director kind of if you're talking about the Swans embracing what was published by Truman Capote, if that had happened now, they very well might have. But because this was published in the 60s, this is a key part of the story and why it goes the way it does, is that this all happened in the 60s. And because it all happened in the 60s, these are like, you know, these rich socialite women are obsessed with their public image, right? Like, their public image is everything to them. And Truman airing out their dirty laundry has made it a lot harder for them to control their public, you know, to present their ideal public image. This is actually why they were so incensed by his expose about Le Cote Basque 1965, about the excerpt that he published from his book is and again, like I said, if it had happened now, they very well might have. But because this happened in the 60s, that's a big part of why it went the way it did. That's a big part of why it went the way it did, is these women believe, you know, these women saw their power was in their public image, right? So again, their public image was everything to them. It was of paramount importance to these women that they maintain their public image of being, you know, the elegant wives to some of the richest men in the country, these elegant socialites who, you know, glided through crowds and seemed like they came from another world, and you never got to see beneath that mask, right? That's a big part of why they reacted with so, you know, they were so angry when Capote did, you know, released the excerpt from his book about the goings on in that restaurant, was that it trashed their public images. It showed the ugly, you know, it showed the ugliness on the inside that they've worked so hard to hide from the outside world for the sake of their public for the sake of their public image. Because again, they saw their public image as everything. They saw it as the only power. They saw it as the only power they had in the world, and they felt like, you know, this was being taken away from them. A lot of these women, like I said, they hated each other. A lot of these women also hated their husbands. Not all of them, mind you, but several of them. They hated their husbands. Because a lot of, you know, some, like you saw, like at least one of them, their husband was famous. At least one of them, their husband was just constantly cheating on her. And she knew, mind you, she knew about pretty much all of these affairs. But because they were kept, because it wasn't just the wives' public, it wasn't just their own public image. In some cases, it was the public image of their husbands as well. And this was the thing. This was what Capote did in, you know, in trying to write, you know, he did it in, you know, he was like pursuing this like perfect transgressive work, right? He was pursuing this perfect transgressive work of, you know, that would shock the world, and, you know, it would make people, you know, it would terrify people who were, you know, terrify the powerful, and make them feel and show that they were not immune to being, you know, to the world reaching back out towards them the way that they did to the world. That their mask was not perfect. Their masks were, the mask they presented to the world was not invincible, and people could see behind it, right? That was very much kind of the idea he had with answered prayers. But what he didn't, well, either he didn't realize, or he kind of recklessly did anyways, is, so first of all, he never finished the book. He never finished the book, and what was done of it, you know, what was written of this book was only released in the 1980s after he died. So he, like I said, he released the excerpt, Le Cote Basque, 1965. He released that in like in the 70s. He releases that in the 70s. And then there's like a whole other decade where he never finishes this book. And then he dies. And what, you know, and what of this book there is finally released after his death. But anyway, so going back to the first season with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, like I said, so both of these women are they are aging, you know, they are aging actresses. They are past the peaks of their careers. It's the early 60s. It's like towards the end of the age of old Hollywood. And there really isn't a lot of work for older women at this point, right? Like, if you're an older woman trying to get, you know, trying to work as an actress, work in film, there's not a lot of work for you, right? There's not a lot of work available. But they get cast in this movie called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. The both of them. And as this movie is being filmed, the dynamic between the two of them, between Betty and Joan, becomes extremely vicious. Again, like, these women start to hate each other. And one of the big things in the movie, one of the big things about it though, is they didn't start that way, right? They started like legitimately having like a cordial relationship. You know, they started off having a cordial relationship, but a big part of why these two women start to hate each other is because the studio executive, Jack Warner, and the director. No. That's not what The Wire Hangers is about. The Wire Hangers is a later thing, right? So Joan Crawford, I genuinely believe, was an evil woman. Like, putting aside, you know, putting aside how the portrayal of her is in the show, right? If we go off of, I know what you're referencing with The Wire Hangers, of, you know, no wire hangers, where she would beat her daughter. I forget what the name of the daughter was, but yeah, she would, you know, her daughter wrote that she would get beaten for putting clothes on wire hangers. And it was actually really, and a lot of the times, I remember correctly, it's not just she would beat her, she would drunkenly beat her. Like, Joan was a raging alcoholic. And like, so like her eldest daughter would often mention about how she would be like drunkenly beaten by, you know, so Joan would drunkenly beat her for even like the slightest of offenses. Hence, like you said, no wire, you know, you mentioned the wire hangers. So that's the thing, like, I legitimately do think Joan Crawford was an evil woman. This woman was evil. And not evil in a sexy way. She was just actually evil. Like I said, she was a rampant narcissist, a raging alcoholic, and like I said, at least according to her eldest daughter, prone to violence at the slightest provocation. So that's Joan Crawford. But there's also, like I said, in the show specifically, in the show, you see that a lot of the nastiness between Betty and Joan is driven by the studio. It's driven by the studio. It's driven by Jack Warner, who sees this as how the story of, you know, the feud between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford is building up publicity for the movie. Oh, that's foul. That is actually foul. God damn. That is an actually foul description. Good Lord. Again, like I said, the real Joan Crawford, evil woman. Horrible, horrible, evil, narcissistic woman. The worst kind, right? Like Betty Davis, like, here's the thing. Like, just going off of like the histories of these two women, I have to say, I really sympathize a lot with Betty Davis, though. Even more so in the show, but kind of in real life as well. It's like, I really sympathize with Betty Davis. This woman was... That woman suffered. And it made, it basically forced her to be ruthless. A disabled daughter that needed, specialized, constant, expensive care. For example, that's just like one of the things, right? A profoundly disabled daughter who needed constant, specialized, and again, like you said, because Jack Warner is one of the actual Warner Brothers. Like, how like one of the major Hollywood studios is Warner Brothers Bacon King. Jack Warner was one of the actual Warner Brothers who founded the Warner Brothers studio. That's why his name sounds familiar. He was one of the actual Warner Brothers. That's why his name sounds familiar. But yeah, it's him and the director whose first name I can never remember. His name is Aldrich though, and he would also be famous for The Dirty Dozen, among other movies. Like The Dirty Dozen, I think is his biggest film success out of all of them. I told you, she is evil, isn't she? Yeah, Robert Aldrich. So Robert Aldrich would, after Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, he would go on to also direct the original Flight of the Phoenix from 1965, The Dirty Dozen, and the original Longest Yard from 74. So he is a fairly famous director. He's a big deal as far as directors go. Yeah, Robert Aldrich is a big deal. But in the show, he gets put in the very unenviable position of basically forcing Bette Davis and Joan Crawford to hate each other as much as possible because Jack Warner loves how this feud between them starts out as a little thing where it's not that big of a deal, right? But Jack Warner has Aldrich make it as nasty as possible because the newspapers are loving it and it's hyping up the movie. It's hyping up this movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, that Jack Warner didn't really want to have his studio funding. Like Robert Aldrich basically begged Jack Warner to take on this, for his studio to take on this movie, right? He really doesn't want to. So he's trying to get his money's worth out of it and generate as much hype for it as possible. And one of the ways he sees to do this is to play up this feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. So that the two of them, that's what I said, the two of them get constantly brought up in newspapers. The newspapers are constantly writing about this feud. He wants them to be on the front page of every issue from the moment he signs the first check to fund Whatever Happened to Baby Jane until the movie gets released. He wants this feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford to be front page news and generate as much hype as possible for the movie because he did not want to do this movie. He did not want his studio doing this movie, right? But like I said, Robert Aldrich basically begged him for it. Because a lot of people thought at this time that Robert Aldrich was also past his prime, that he was basically done as a director. So nobody wants this movie, right? Nobody wants whatever happened to Baby Jane. Robert Aldrich basically begs Jack Warner to do it. Jack Warner wants to generate as much hype for this movie to get his money's worth out of it. And the result is that these two women, that Joan Crawford and Bette Davis, end up just ripping each other apart pretty much anytime they get an opportunity to. They come to hate each other. Like, I think, because I'm pretty sure the thing with Joan stealing Bette Davis's husband, well, I think that was before Baby Jane. This was back when they were, this is back before Baby Jane, before 62. But but because of this, it digs up that old wound. It digs up that old wound between if this is, I think, what you're thinking, if this is, because that is not a story I knew anything about, of Joan Crawford stealing Bette Davis's husband. So I can't really talk to that one. But what I can say is that because of this, shit, what was I saying? Shit, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, because Warner and Aldrich keep pushing and prodding them and pushing them closer to each other and into these ever more uncomfortable situations that just keep stoking this fight between them. Again, this is in the show, not so much what happened historically, but this is what happens in the show. You keep stoking this fight between them and just making them hate each other as much as possible. For the sake, and that's all I can say, it's all for the sake of generating hype for this movie so that Jack Warner can get his money's worth out of a movie that he didn't want to fund. That Robert Aldrich basically begged him. Robert Aldrich basically begs Jack Warner to fund this movie. Because Aldrich thinks this is his ticket back into the big leagues of directing movies. That this will be the thing that gets his career back on track. And he's kind of right. That I don't know if it's specifically because of whatever happened to Baby Jane. The movie was apparently a massive success for whatever it's worth. But after whatever happened to Baby Jane's, he would go on to do The Dirty Dozen, Flight of the Phoenix, The Longest Yard, all incredibly famous movies that are often held up as these prime examples of cinema today. I've only seen a couple of them, and I can definitely agree. Dirty Dozen is amazing. Dirty Dozen is a very, very good classic war movie of the era, of the 60s and 70s. That's really what on another one. So this is a complete tangent real quickly about old war movies that are very good. Another one I really like is called Submarine X1, and it is about the British X-Craft program, which was this program the British had in World War II of these small submarines that would be sent in to German harbors. The idea was you would send these submarines in to German and German occupied harbors. They would perform and they would do demolition work, basically just sinking German ships while they're moored at port. And the reason they made it look specifically like this is they were smaller than any other submarine in the Royal Navy. They were able to, they were designed to be able to cut through anti-submarine nets in order to get into the actual harbor and then perform, like I said, this. And the crews were like these especially elite trained guys who were doing underwater demolitions. Like I said, they were, their whole job was basically that they would go in and they would do this, they would be doing demolition and sabotage in the port. They would slip in, they would plant their charges doing, demolitions and sabotage. They would leave, and then after they left, the charges would go off and sink the ships at their moorings, thus crippling the German Navy. That was the whole idea behind the X-Craft. And this movie actually does a great job of showing just how terrifying the actual process. First of all, it shows the extreme secrecy that the British had to maintain so that, just in case, because if the Germans found out about the X-Craft, they would try and do something about them, destroy them before they could be launched, update their harbor defenses, and so on. So secrecy was absolutely paramount to the success of the British. Jack Horner. I just saw that as well. Jack Horner. Yeah. Jack Horner is also a great example of how you write a villain who is just irredeemably evil. Somebody who is just who is a complete monster that has nothing good about them. And you just make the audience love to hate them. Jack Horner is a fantastic villain in Puss in Boots. So I know exactly what you're talking about I know exactly why he comes to mind for you, Bacon King. Because he is a great villain. He is a fantastic villain. Oh, let's see what happens if we try to fight Lily with Vita. It's probably not going to go well, but let's find out. CRYMACHINA, engage. Yeah, just excellent villain. Like you just see like this. There's these moments where you just expect Jack Horner. If he was any other character, Jack Horner would start having second thoughts, right? And he even goes so far as to make it look like he's having second thoughts, and then he's just like, nah, I'm evil. Fuck that. I'm a piece of shit. I like being a piece of shit. And it really makes the audience just love to hate Jack Horner. It's so well done. It is so well done as a villain. Like, that is such a well done villain that you just despise Jack Horner. That's kind of how you end up feeling about Jack Warner in Feud as well, because you see that he is the primary driving force turning Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and what would otherwise have been like, a bit of a feud, he makes it into something, drives it into being something absolutely vicious for the sake of not losing a few bucks. No, not literally, but because for the sake of greed. For the sake of greed, he makes what would have otherwise been at worst, just a slight feud that might have just just ended the movie shooting and they would have broken things off. He makes it utterly vicious. He makes it into something utterly vicious. Watch the balls, watch the balls. Boom! There we go. Ugh. Yeah? Yeah? Why do they bring up geldings in it? What is going on in Rainbow Six that involves Fortress? Also, on the subject of the spy novels, by the way, Bacon King, do you know what is one I actually read? I've been reading recently that's been really good. So, I say a spy novel, but I don't know if you would necessarily call it a spy novel necessarily. The author has done actual spy novels that are really good, but have you? But so I remember I told you I had read The Odessa File, which is a book by Frederick Forsyth about a German journalist in the 60s, right, who uncovers an organization that is sheltering and assisting fugitive Nazis. Well, I finished that book, and now I'm onto another one by him called The Dogs of War. The Dogs of War is... So The Dogs of War is this British guy. It takes place in like the 70s. It's like 1970, and this British mining company discovers that a country in Africa has a significant reserve of platinum, which is at the time becoming extremely valuable metal, because this is right around when catalytic converters become mandatory in cars. So on top of the fact that platinum is already valuable as a precious metal, you also have platinum becoming valuable for industrial reasons. But the guy in charge of this mining company is like, the government of this African country is, first of all, if they're aligned with the Soviet Union, and even if they weren't, they are so tribalistic and corrupt that there'd be no way that this company would be able to get the mining rights to the platinum without somehow getting robbed blind by the dictator of this African country. So he decides he's going to hire mercenaries to overthrow this government. He's going to hire mercenaries to overthrow this government. And the book is basically all about this plot that's being set up, this plot that this mining executive is setting up to overthrow the government of this African country so that he can then move in and make a deal with whatever government gets set up, whatever government he helps get set up in their place, to then go and run this platinum mine and make himself, obscenely rich. And it's not even a case of like I said, it's not even a case of the government of this African country is good or even remotely sympathetic, but it's still, it is very much a case of, damn, everyone sucks here. The government of this African country is incredibly corrupt and it's a incredibly corrupt dictatorship in the vein of like Eritrea or Equatorial Guinea in the 70s. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it is directly modeled off of at least one of those countries. Like, Libya, Eritrea, Equatorial Guinea. All of these countries are hilariously corrupt. Okay, so long story short, bioterrorists plan on releasing a virus, and the survivors were hiding out in the Kansas compound, and the chief had a horse he left entrusted to others, knowing they were going to die, and the horses would return to the wild. Ah, okay. But yeah, no, the Dogs of War is actually really good, but also it's a case of, damn, wow, everybody sucks, and everyone involved in this sucks. This mining executive wants to start a coup d'etat in a country so that he can get super rich off of a platinum mine. The government of this country is an extremely corrupt and brutal dictatorship. There's nobody good involved. The mercenaries are definitely not good people. One of them is an ex-Nazi, for example. Yeah, there's an ex-Nazi. There's at least one white South African who is like super fucking racist. Who's also, you know, super fucking racist. And so on and so forth. And they all have a history of just committing absolutely heinous war crimes. Oh, it's a very good story, but yeah, everyone involved sucks. Everyone involved sucks. Like I said, it's called The Dogs of War by Frederick Forsyth. And I will also say, whether you know, reading it or listening to it as an audiobook, they're both really good. I forget the name of the narrator that does the audiobook version I've been listening to, but he does a fantastic job of giving the vibe of that, you know, old school spy story. Something about the way, you know, his reading style, it's his reading style and his accent really fits this like old school spy story that takes place before personal computers are common. So everything is done via phone calls, faxes, and telegrams. And you have, you know, that's the thing, is a lot of it is the slow burn. Not just this book, but also the Odessa file is very similar as well, where it's this slow burn of the terminal list. Terminal list. Let me think. I feel like that name is familiar, but I need to see who the author is. No, I have not heard of the terminal list. Never mind. I think I've heard the name before, but I never actually heard any. I've never actually read it. I have never actually read this. I will also say though, I don't know if I would like this or not. I might be fine, but I have really found that, like I said, I really love one of the main reasons I really love older spy novels and older spy thrillers is because of the slow burn. They've got this really nice slow burn that is almost entirely because these were books that were written before personal computers were common. So again, everything is done with with faxes, telegraphs, payphone calls, and the like. You know, it's all done by mail, by telegram, by fax, and calls at public payphones. So, and it all it creates this really, really distinctive atmosphere that is really, really hard to replicate nowadays. Ugh. You don't want to know my opinion of actual seals, Bacon King. Let's just say, not very flattering. I do not have a very flattering opinion of actual Navy SEALs. I genuinely believe that Naval Special Warfare is an inherently corrupt institution that will need to be purged and rebuilt from the ground up based off of its history of like the past 20 years. That gives you an idea of my thought on actual SEALs. I do not think very highly of them. I admittedly do not think very highly of most actual SEALs. Like, more so than any other special operations unit, Naval Special Warfare, I just look at, you know, their recent history over the past, well, yeah, arguably longer, arguably the last, maybe not 60, but the last 40 years, but definitely the past 20. Everything after 9/11, everything from like 9/11 onward, 100% is just like the SEAL, Naval Special Warfare needs to be torn down, torn up at the roots and rebuilt from scratch, because it is so hilariously corrupt and rotten. As an institution, it's so hilariously corrupt and rotten. And it's just insane. It's insane how bad it is. It is actually insane how bad the state of Naval Special Warfare is. Wait, is there an actual thing here to see how much we have? No. Like naval special warfare will need to be torn up at the roots and rebuilt from scratch. It is so hilariously corrupt. It is patient zero of so much of the rot that has infected the rest of the U.S. military, the U.S. military institutions, and built up. Are you familiar with the term "the cult of the operator"? This tendency that we have, the tendency to fetishize special forces that has built up, that built up again largely as a response of GWAT. That is a big, like a lot of that fetishization and the rot that has resulted from it ultimately traces back to Naval Special Warfare. It ultimately traces back to Naval Special Warfare, and it's why I have, like I said, I hear SEAL and I just go, like, the face in, if you've ever seen Soul Eater, the face that they make whenever Excalibur shows up on, whenever Excalibur gets mentioned, where they're like, that's me when SEALs get mentioned, is that face, that exact face. Shit. Whew. Curious, actually. If I were to return to base right now, I probably wouldn't have any, but let's check. Let's check and see. I kind of want to know, like, did I get anything from that? No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. Why would I? What are they at right now? 72, 71, 72. If I really wanted to push it, I guess I could try doing this now. See how it goes. And it would get me more XP to work with too. And we've already seen this part, so we can kind of push through this. We just had to stop last time because we were like, especially Laban was like just super underleveled. But now we actually should get some XP worth, some actual like worthwhile amounts of XP too. Also, this is really such a look. This is such a look right here with the two cannons. A new species that sprung from the virtual world. And not just any species, a deadly one. No doubt about it. No way around it. No matter how sinful or evil it is, we just want to survive. No, nothing. I was just pulling that up to lock it so it would show this the whole time is all. But let's see what happens now that Laban is actually appropriately leveled. Because we have to fight these fuckers again, which is where we were last time. And we were doing decent damage to them as well, is the other thing. Especially when you factor in the auxiliaries. Ooh, watch it, watch it, watch it. Get back in there now. Where's he gonna be? Where's he gonna be? Where's he gonna be? Ah, shit! We mistimed the parry. Pull back! Pull back! Pull back! Pull back! I'm gonna say, this soundtrack has kind of got like Millie vibes to it, like something you would hear from Project Moon. I have to admit, it really does have that sort of vibe to it. I actually wonder who it's by. God damn it! Yeah, do that again, because we beat this guy last time. Go, 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 go. Watch the balls. Here they come again. We actually do decent damage to him too, is the big thing. Pull back. He's gonna teleport. Damn it! We do it too early. Oh, we need to stop doing that. So we need to like stop doing it early. Because if we can parry that, I bet that fucks him over real bad. It's kind of like what happens now when we get behind him. Where we're able to just really mess with him. Oh! Can we hit him before he goes away? Yes! Where's he gonna be? Got him. Watch the balls. Here we go again. More balls, more fireballs. Here we go. Now that I'm starting to understand how those work, they're actually pretty trivial to avoid. It's actually kind of funny. Yes! Got the counter. So it's later than you think it is. That's the main thing I gotta remember. That the parry for that is later than I think it is. So here we go again. Judge, he's warping. Shit! That's not the one I wanted. Damn it! I didn't want this one, but I'll take it. Oh wow. That didn't work out very well, but that didn't work out very well at all. Whoa, around. Bully him. You know, bap him for doing that. Here we go again. Third time's the charm. All right, here we go. Ooh, we got it. Thought we were too early on that one, but no, we got it. Ooh, and big damage. Ah, he's being slippery. Being a slippery little bastard, I see. Hit him with one before he can warp out. Is he gonna go for a grab? Yes, he is. Punish. There we go. Watch it. Ow. Hit him with another one of those. And we're doing okay damage now. It's not very fast, but it's working. Fuck. He's warped out. Oh no. That's not good. Wow, we actually survived it. What the fuck? I thought that was gonna kill me. I actually thought that was gonna kill me just now. But also, ad break has started, so if you need a chance to stretch, grab a drink, etc. Now's the time to do it, and I'll see y'all when it's over. And we're back. So let's see if we can do it this time. We're in a not great spot. Could be worse though. Oh wow, we completely whiffed that. Oh, we fucked it. We fucked it. That heal saved us, so we're not immediately done, but we fucked it. Bonk. Where's he gonna be this time? Ah, we did it too early again. Because I'm doing it on the flash is the thing, right? I have to remember it's not on the flash. There's a big lag between the actual attack and the ping for it. That was not a good move. So let's do that again. Bonk. All right, he's gonna try and come for us now. Ah, I keep doing it. I keep doing it too early. I panic. Let's set those to start shooting at him. That we actually get some damage in on him early on. We really should just keep doing that persistently. But they're always hurting him. Just maximize our damage output as much as possible, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably a thing we should do. All right, here we go. Bonk! You ain't going nowhere, Anthropos! I don't know what you think you're doing. You ain't going nowhere! Beautiful. There we go. Where's he gonna be at this time? There he is. He's bringing those back down. Why are you running? Huh? Why are you running? All right, pull back, pull back, pull back. Here come the fireballs. Woo! Bonk him again. Deny him the ability to run. Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Bonk! Here we go again! Oh, he ran! Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Blocked! There we go. Out of the way. Here come the fireballs. Okay, I still have 2 of those. They puzzle you? Why would they puzzle you? What would be so puzzling about our actions, Anthropos? That we're not just laying down and dying because Eve told us to? Is that what puzzles you? I'm sorry, you're a dumbass. All right, start breaking these. We're gonna leave 1. So he doesn't immediately replenish them. That old trick. Back. Because here come the fireballs. Get in there and punish. Out of the way, because here they come again. Oh, he's running again. Probably hiding where he's expecting one of his coffin circles to be. But we've got him in kind of that catch-22. Where they're not where he's expecting. Get wrecked! We've kind of got you figured out now. Maybe not like fully, but well enough that we can bully the shit out of him. What are we? We're your death. That's what we are, Anthropos. That's all that matters, that we're gonna kill you. Nothing else is important. Just know that we're going to, like I said, we're going to kill you. That's all that matters. Ah, shit. I did not realize how close he was to that coffin circle. All right, here we go again. Fireballs, one more time. Here they come again. Next salvo. Out of the circle. Oh, we popped it, so he's gonna make a new set now. Woo! That was very lucky. All right, first coffin set denied. Break that one, so now we have 2 missing. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Is this gonna do it? Not quite. If that had been a crit, it probably would have. But the auxiliaries might get him. There he goes. Anthropos down. Whew. That's our first one down. Next is Ami's turn with, I want to say, Lethea. It's either Lethea or no, it's Logos. It's Logos and then it's Lethea. I remember now. All right, let's go. Let's go get rid of this whale. Let's go take care of this whale. Out of the blast area. Ooh, that could have been bad. Oh, we got him though. That's the whale done. Perfect timing too. Whew, that could have been really ugly. That hadn't been able to finish him off. That could have gotten really bad there. And now we're back at Laban. But this time, she's actually appropriately leveled for what's coming. Unlike before, where we were like, okay, well, we could be a few. She could be a few levels higher because our level cap is higher, but it frankly doesn't matter. Doki doki waku waku na 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 doki doki waku waku na 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 doki doki waku waku. So this will be Lethea, if I remember correctly. Yep, there's no aim back there, but that's not who we're actually fighting. We're fighting this motherfucker. Woo! Where are you at? There you are. Oh, watch it, watch it, watch it. That still hurts a lot. Gotta remember that. Just because we're no longer under level does not mean that doesn't hurt. Yeah, we're only like kinda not under leveled. We are arguably still under leveled to some extent. Just that we have a better understanding of what we're doing, and with a few extra levels on top of that, so that we can actually hurt him now. Woo! Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it! Here he comes again. Watch the hands, watch the hands. All right, get in there. Woo. Oh, he's mad now. There we go. And now we do it again. Ooh. Excuse me, I actually need to go real quickly. I will see y'all in just a minute, though. See y'all in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry about that. But let's get back to actually whooping Lithia's ass here. We're doing a pretty good job of it right now, I'll say. Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Comprehension impossible. Eve has so gaslit you. Eve has gaslit you so badly. It's like, I don't even remember which one it was. One of the Deus Ex Machina mentioned that Eden got hit by electromagnetic radiation that screwed up a lot of its archives. I really do think that part of it is going to be that it turns out that was some kind of electronic attack that redefined humanity for the sake of a species that was destroyed in the Dark Forest. Ooh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, we got him. Woo! Finally beat Lethia. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. But now I'm wondering what's going to happen with Knowing here and the aftermath of that. Because that was 3 in a row. So what happens with the 4th? Yeah. No idea code. It's the genuine article. What is she doing here, I wonder? I mean, obviously, she probably has something to do with the reawakening of Eve, but beyond that, hard to say. Oh yeah, no. Let's see if things go horribly wrong when Enoa does this. This feels like a trap. I can't put my finger on exactly why, but this feels like a trap. Okay, nope. So far not. So far not. Whew. That's good. That's good that at least so far it's not a trap. But I have a feeling that's not going to hold. For whatever reason, I have the distinct feeling that's not going to hold. Now we can recharge and get some rest. It was eventful getting here, but you all did a great job. What are we gonna do with Knowing an imitation garden? We can't just leave him behind, can we? It's okay now that we're connected. I was able to contact Zoe and asked her to send Trinity here. And are they gonna... Oh, hey, there they are. We'll be sure to keep the 8th Central Unit safe. I won't let anyone hurt it. Is this really a good idea? I think they're perfect for the job. Other than against the facsimiles, Eva's still on top. They'll be fine. They're all very strong and capable girls. You can rely on us beyond a shadow of a doubt. I better not just be a load of carp. Then you give a fish, and she'll have a fish. This will go swimmingly. I'm sorry, but I love Vita and her just constant sleepiness. Hop, skip, and jump to the Star Temple. After that, we'll head to the Tree of Knowledge, and when Eve comes to hook it up, we'll kill her. A critical juncture for our survival. That's true. But for the time being, try to take it easy. Get a good rest and keep your stress down. We're not living to fight, but fighting to live. Every one of these moments is just that precious. So how much XP did that net me? Not a lot. Which I distinctly feel... Okay. So we have social links first. Life separation. Mikoto, it's time we define a relationship. You really want to give me some context here, maybe? Think about it. If we lose our battle against Eve, Eden will get reinitialized. These could very well be our final moments with each other. I want to make sure I don't leave any regrets behind. I mean, what is there to define? That we're family? Oh, shut up, you uncongenial blackhead. That much is obvious. I'm asking if we're an item. Well? Wow, pushy much? It's called burning passion. But it's just not my style to say that stuff out loud. I don't care. I'm the type that can't rest easily unless things are put into words. What? Why do I have to do that? We already promised we'd be together forever. Ooh. That's what you told me, right? So, even if we part in this life, we can just catch each other in the next one. Problem solved. Oh, she's angry. I think I've been showing you how I feel in my own way more sincerely than any vow could already. Alright, let's see what the other one has got to say. A real lady killer. I'm sorry for all the trouble I put you through, Enoa. Even after I said goodbye, you still didn't give up on me. You chased after me, supported me, protected me, and most importantly, you said you loved me. Thank you for that. Really. Oh, she's blushing! Okay, the blush, like the blushing face for Enoa is so goddamn cute. I love that. She's like... She's so cute. Oh, and then, yeah, no, and now she's flustered. It's far greater than just love. That doesn't feel right either. Why is that? Because it's not as if I want you to thank me. It's all selfish on my part. You know, you can be a real lady killer sometimes. What do you mean? Oh, they're both... God damn it, these two. Oh, god damn it, these two. Oh, the face though. The face is so good. It's embarrassing. But I think you're both wishier and washier. Oh, she's got you. She's got you there, Laban. She has got you there. What kind of logic is that? So you should speak your mind and say it out loud. You sound pretty confident about that. Because it's true. Besides, it's unfair that I'm always the only one who says I love you. Unfair, huh? Okay then. Oh no! Oh no! You're the one who said to follow my heart. Touché. Time for me to face the music then. Oh, she's smiling! It is so nice to see both of them smiling, especially with how gloomy Laban has been for most of the story, and Enoa just trying to deny that she has emotions at all. It's so nice seeing her smile. Also, code time. Let's see what we got. Anything good? Anything interesting? Also, the fact that she like really starts crying now is it's actually a really interesting progression versus how she started off, where again she would basically just do everything to deny that she had emotions at all. Oh no. Oh no. I think this is gonna be one of those times where I'm gonna have to do more level grinding before I can actually get into that fight. God damn it. Because you notice recommended level 78 and we're not even 75. So I think that's going to have to be something for the future, especially since I have to get up early tomorrow. Like I said, because I'm taking care of a neighbor's house and their dog. So let's go see who's on that we can raid into, shall we? Who's around that we haven't raided in a while? We got a few options actually. You know what? Let's go say hi to the fox. Let's go say hi to the fops. So let me just put that. Let's go say hi to Inari. In the meantime, if you want to see what I'm up to off stream, these are all the places you can find me. Let me get that for the YouTube people as well. And the raid message. And as always, that only leaves one thing to say. If you're new here, if you've been here before, you already know what it is. If you're new here, well, I hope to see you again in the future. But until then,